environmental justice is very key in today's world. We need to understand today what is environmental justice, and also why environmental justice in this era whereby everything, is happening so fast. But before I even get to explain to you what environmental justice, I just need to remind you, the population, the global population has grown to billions of people. Uganda, that was about, 20 million people, 15 million people years ago. Right now we are over 45 million people living in this small country, as you see it, this small gifted country. So the population is doubling over time. And the more the people, the more economic activities happen, the more deforestation happens, the more cultivation happens. Where we used to see forests, now we see economic activities, industrialization. You know that Namanga alone was a forest. It was a swamp. It was a swamp with no houses. But right now, if you pass Namanga in less than 10 years, in less than, I think, let me say less than 20 years, you can see what has happened in that area in the shortest time possible. So what is going to happen after 30 years from now? Are we going to see any of that natural setting that we used to see? But is it a problem or it is a solution? So it's where we come to environmental justice in this way. If you also look at issues that used to happen way back, pollution. Kampala wasn't as stuffed as it is today. Kampala had some, good fresh air. We still have fresh air, we are lucky, according to people who have traveled in different countries and coming back. Those who have gone to Malaysia, those who have gone to China, those who have gone to different industrialized countries, they can come back and tell you, we are still lucky that you are still having a lot of oxygen. People say that in some countries, people now have started importing oxygen from other countries. I don't know how that is harvested, but I would like to know the technology that is used. So still looking at environmental justice, you realize that there are lots of things that have affected the environment. There are lots of things that are doing injustice to the environment. And the natural setting that we had is going away. The settlement, the urbanization that is happening. Kampala wasn't as populated as now. Years back, if you could go Chisasi, Chanja, even Intinda was quite, not as populated as it is right now. Talk about even Chitezi itself, the houses that were covered in the garbage. All those houses, if you count years ago, those houses were not there. If you look at Gayaza, look at Chira, those were areas where nature had its liberty to do as it pleased. Animals and birds and everything were free to move. But now, with all the urbanization, with all the economic activities, a lot of things are happening differently from what we ever thought years ago. So, but looking at environmental justice, we are looking at the protection of individuals and the environment. That is what is most important. And of course, you should know one thing. All these activities that we are talking about have come with a lot of danger. So how are we managing this in this era? How are we standing to say, okay, the environment still needs a voice. The environment still needs to be planned for. The whole issue that you're seeing of the landfills, it's all coming from environmental injustice, where we are dumping recklessly, garbage recklessly. You find hazardous trash and also organic trash mixed up all together, and there's this very serious methane that is forming, and a lot of pollution that is forming. And you know, among the dangers is that even sicknesses come from some of these things. So yes, environmental justice is what we are going to focus on today, and I hope you pick a lesson or two from what we are going to be discussing, the solutions, and also some of the suggestions that we feel are from experts and from stories around the world that we feel are important in today's world when it comes to conserving the environment, and also making sure that, you know, garbage collection is taken in the right direction. That is what we are going to focus on today. And of course, among those, like I said, we are going to be understanding why it is crucial in today's world. And as I answered this before we go into a short commercial break, why is it crucial? Like I said, population is very high, very, very high. And also economic activities are very high. But at the end of the day, there is a future. So now, when you focus at Uganda, a country that has the youngest population in the world, and what are these people going to be facing? What challenges are they going to be facing tomorrow? Now, if you looked at 1996, when Chitezi was being formed, did we think about what would happen after over 20 years as it has happened right now? Now, it's the same way. Why is this crucial? The same activities we are doing right now. Namamve industrial area is happening, is growing very fast. So many factories are coming up. Are we looking at 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now? What is going to happen? Do we have a plan for it? One of the things I will appreciate is that recently I saw, I think, Honorable Minister Anite was headlining the planting of trees in that area, which is one of the key things, because trees consume some of this carbon dioxide. For those that are not aware, I hope that if you went to, of course, through high school, you definitely should be knowing that trees consume carbon dioxide and they give us oxygen. So she was headlining a campaign to plant trees, and I think this was in partnership with a number of other development partners. So why it is crucial today, in today's world, environmental justice, is because we need to look at tomorrow. The things that we ignored 15, 20, 30 years ago, they have come to haunt us right now. The trees that we didn't bother to plant, the planning for, you know, settlement that you remember, for those, I'll give an example of Eastern Uganda. There's a missed point. There's a point that has been missed in planning. People who had land, big chunks of land, decided to, you know, demarcate it and divided it into small pieces. They settled in it. Now, in the process of settling in it, you realize that they went ahead and cut down trees. They have totally destroyed the ecosystem. Even the smallest thing that I can give is that the birds that we used to see 20 years ago, you can't even see them. But these are very important elements in environmental conservation. The bees that used to, you know, have their hives in the forests, you can't see them. And these are very important when it comes to environmental conservation. So the challenge is growing, and the challenge, why this is environmental justice is very crucial, it's because the challenges that we ignored 20 years ago are the problems that we have right now. So as we plan, as we think of environmental justice, think of what is going to be tomorrow. Yes, you plan to create another landfill in Mukono. Yes, you plan to create another landfill in Entebbe. After you have created, are you thinking about the future? Because it has happened in Chitezi, are we thinking about what is going to happen to the people who are going to be settled in Dundu, in Mukono, or the landfill in Entebbe? So these are some of the very key things why we need to think about environmental justice, because it is all about us. It is all about the future. It is all about the country. And now imagine how much resources we are spending in Chitezi that we could be spending on a number of other issues in education, in health. If we had planned early enough and said, okay, here is the dumping. We are going to look at some of the solutions in this. And some of those are the solutions that other countries are implementing in their respective countries, including South Africa. I have seen a lot of it being done. But yes, we'll talk about some of those solutions later on. For now, we'll go into a short commercial break. Smart means business returns. After that, my name is Noah Wapera, and this is Smart 24 TV Driving Business. We'll return.